Hey, what is up everybody? Matt Tersick, and I am coming to you live from Lake Oswego. Yes, the actual lake. We finally made it. It is almost October. It's like the last day of September when we're shooting this. And the purpose of this video is to give you a quick overview of the lake, the actual geography, what it looks like, some of the homes, and of course talk about what happened in this last sales season in terms of sales on the lake. So right now we're starting right in the central location on the main lake. I'm actually parked over on Lakeview Boulevard, and we're panning around to South Shore at the very west end of the lake. Lakeview Boulevard is known for some of the nicest real estate in Lake Oswego. So right behind me, you actually have Lake Grove Swim Park, which is a swim park we've touched on many times in our regular videos. It's a huge asset to the surrounding neighborhoods that actually have access to come and utilize that space, the swim dock, the picnic area, and it's a great place to watch the fireworks show, which is usually held every 4th of July right out here in front of Lakeview Boulevard. Additionally, we're right in front of South Shore Boulevard, which is the main thoroughfare on the south side of the lake that will connect you all the way from here to McVeigh, and is home to some of the nicest homes on the water with views looking directly to the east all the way down the lake. Just on this stretch alone right now, there's 2 different homes under construction. One of them is a spec home by Renaissance right next door to a house that sold just 2 years ago for $7.5 million. So on this end of the lake, you actually have the entrance to West Bay, as well as the 2 canals that feed into the lake. Canal properties and West Bay properties lag behind real estate prices just slightly and are a great option if you're looking for waterfront access, but at the lower price points. Typically, canal homes right now are selling anywhere from $1.5 million for more of a starter home, all the way up to $3.6 million, which is a home that I currently have pending over on Blue Heron Canal. Speaking of new construction, I'm actually in front of a new development by Stone Ridge Custom. It's a custom remodel job for a client, which is one of the most prevalent things you'll see on the lake. There's very little spec development. In years past, it's completely been custom homes being put up for private clients or major renovation projects. Because the land's so scarce around here, there's very few, if any, vacant lots, and anytime you're doing a project like a new build, you're tearing down an older house. So most of these lake properties were originally built in the early 1920s, 30s, and 40s. At the time, they were essentially vacation homes for people from downtown Portland area who'd come out to Lake Oswego for recreation. Over the years, there's been a lot of new development on the lake, including some of the most modern pieces of architecture that I'd say is in the entire area right here behind me on the peninsula. So there's actually a lot that goes into evaluating lakefront property when you're looking to buy on Lake Oswego. The first thing I talk to clients about is where do you want to be location-wise. The big distinction here is usually the north side of the lake or the south side of the lake, and there's some pros and cons that come with each. So on the north side of the lake, which is right behind me right now, you have full day southern exposure in the backyard, which is extremely valuable if you're looking for something lighter and brighter. Another thing about the north side of the lake is because of the topography, most of those homes are actually a little bit lower to the lake and are what we would refer to as low bank properties. And right now we're looking at the south side of the lake, which is all north facing properties. So a little bit less sunshine in the backyards during different times of the day, but you still get amazing views. And if you're not a fan of keeping your shades down throughout the sunniest part of the day, then buying a property that's north facing could actually be a pretty good thing. In addition to being north facing, many of the properties on the south side are actually high bank. Many of the homes even have their own private trams that will take them all the way from the house down to the boat dock. So enough about the real estate for one quick second, and let's talk about recreation. Behind me, you're looking at one of the very popular coves where people will come out and anchor their boats. They'll swim in the water, enjoy each other's company, or even tie up with other people. In addition to all the water sports that are allowed on Lake Oswego, such as skiing, wakeboarding, wake surfing, tubing, there's also a myriad of other activities for the entire community. For instance, this last summer, there was a series of concerts that was held pretty much every weekend where they would pick a new spot on the lake and everyone would come out on a Friday afternoon to enjoy some good music. So all these activities aren't just for people who live on the water. There's actually over 20 different lake easements on Lake Oswego. Lake easements allow access for all the surrounding neighborhoods to come down, get a boat slip, utilize the lake when they want, or just throw a paddleboard or a kayak in the water. So right now, there's actually 9 properties on Lake Oswego available ranging from $2.995 million all the way up to $11.5 million. And right now we're about to cruise underneath the bridge to Lake Oswego's own private island. But before we do that, I want to point out the project right behind me being built by Stone Ridge Custom Development. Probably one of the coolest houses in all of Lake Oswego right now. Very cool architecture, amazing infrastructure. And going back to the island real fast, it used to be known as Jansen Island. It has its own private bridge. They have a helicopter pad, I'm told, on the island, though I've personally never seen it, as well as waterfalls, some speakers, and lighting throughout the entire place. On the eastern end of the lake, you have some of the nicest homes. In terms of cost, you're looking at nearing $1,000 per square foot. To put that in perspective, the average sale price in Lake Oswego was about $650 per square foot over the last 12 months. So over on this end of the lake, you have some very famous roads such as North Shore, Lake Shore, West Point, and Lakefront Road. In addition to some of the nicest homes, on this end of the lake, you're gonna find the Lake Oswego Swim Park, as well as Lake Corp, which manages the entire lake. It is a private lake and is the only gas station to fill up. So at the very eastern end of Lake Oswego, there's actually a small waterway called Half Moon Bay. Now we're gonna go through Half Moon Bay right here. It's home to some of the most unique property, I think, in all of Lake Oswego. Take for instance the house right behind me. You're right at a peninsula looking straight down the main lake to the west. Plus you have water frontage on your backside that you literally feel like you can just reach out and touch the water. So turning around the corner here, this actually opens up, and this is why it's called Half Moon Bay. On either side, you have beautiful boulder landscape with very mature trees. Just off to my right there, you see a prime example of a home that was just sold about a year ago for $1.7 million. A small home that was taken straight out of the 50s. It was literally a time capsule and very tastefully redone, as you'll see right behind me. So right now we're going under the bridge from Half Moon Bay onto Lakewood Bay. Lakewood Bay is one of the probably nicest areas on the entire lake in terms of real estate. You have North Shore, which actually runs behind me over this bridge and along this bank. The way they're positioned low to the water, they actually get great sunlight all day long. And then at the end of Lakewood Bay, you have the marina, which anyone can go and park their boat, walk downtown, enjoy the farmer's market, or any of the restaurants. In addition to a lot of the cool restaurants up in the Lake Oswego Village, there's actually Stickman's Brewery right on the lake. They have probably one of the best patio views in all of Lake Oswego. Definitely a spot to grab a beer. So on Lakewood Bay, as we're going back toward the main lake, behind me you're gonna see the row of cabana homes. These homes were all built out onto the water. These are very desirable spots, so most of them have been picked up and redeveloped over time, as you'll see a few examples on this stretch right here. The home right behind me with the blue supports and awning is actually for sale by owner right now for $2.2 million. Okay, so there are a couple homes on the market that I'd love to point out. First of which is right behind me. I've showed a couple times. It's currently listed for $6.5 million and is probably one of the nicest pieces of real estate available in all of Lake Oswego. It's beautiful classic architecture on its own private little bay, amazing grounds, and some of the best views in all of Lake Oswego. And then additionally, another active listing right behind me, $11.5 million. As you can see, it probably has some of the strongest presence on the lake. It's a very wide lot. You've got a 2-car garage for your boats. Okay everyone, we are running out of light, and that means it's time for us to bring the boat in and end today's video. If there's any questions at all, or if you're interested in learning more about Lake Oswego real estate, specifically lakefront homes, don't hesitate to reach out. My number's below. Comment in the comment section, like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and feel free to use me as your real estate resource when it comes to looking in Lake Oswego.